Broadcasting live from the Gem Bazaar on the plain of Chandelar, probably. This is Tap Tap Concede. Hello, yes, I am Wheeler. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here, but I'm not alone. I have a Nelson.
Thank you for having me, Wheeler. It's great to be here.
And I have a Cameron.
Thank you for having me, Wheeler. It's great to be here.
And I have a James who's going to keep up the bit.
Thank you for having me here, Wheeler. It's great to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. It's great having you all. And thank you, the viewer and or listener, for being here and supporting us and the show and everything we do here over at Loading Ready Run through patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. It's because of you. We're thankful for being here and we're having you. But also, have you considered shopping through cardkingdom.com/LRR, the sponsor of this show, Tap Tap Concede, where if you make an order and use that link and go button please while supplies last, you'll get a small button that says, my deck's power level is yes. Great. So today, things are a little off if it wasn't evident by, Nelson's wearing a different shirt.
Graham's toque is so red.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Graham. That's it. That's my Graham.
You nailed that.
Thank
that
you.
was beautiful.
I love Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that sonorous tenor.
Oh, did somebody say Metal Gear?
I wonder if that goes in my Bears deck.
I'm just a nice guy. Prick. For today,
How dare he be that nice every day?
unbelievable.
He's really like that. If you met him and he was nice at a convention, he's like that behind the camera, too.
Yeah. Except for me, he trips me in the hallways. We're doing a thing called Scryfall Roulette.
Yeah. I mean, I can explain what this is. It was my
Please
idea.
do.
So this is an idea that I've had before, and maybe we've done it on the podcast. I honestly don't remember. But the idea here is I'm just going to hit random on Scryfall, and I'm going to throw the card up on the screen, and these three guys need to just chat about it for, 3, 4, 5 minutes max, and then we'll move on. Now, each of you gets one veto. If a card pops up and you're like, nah, that ain't it, you can veto it and we can move on, even if it is, gonna piss off the other two guys. It doesn't matter. You get one veto, so use it wisely. And yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, we did also have, if you wanted to know what Gem Bazaar was, because I didn't know what this is. Check that out.
Definitely looks like a Magic the Gathering.
Oofa doofa.
Did you make this card up?
No, it's a land that says when it comes into play, you choose a random color, and then it taps to add a mana. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of the color last chosen, and then you choose a random color. This is from, I believe, the Micro Prose Magic computer game from
From Chandelar, yeah, which
97?
which is officially called Magic the Gathering, but we all call it Chandelar. Right?
Yeah. I think this is not like the Chandelar everybody knows and loves. This is like
That's another one?
Primordial Chandelar.
after this, I think.
Right.
Oh,
I mean, they got Liz Danforth to do the art.
Mm-hmm. I love a Liz Danforth. Not her best work, but that also could be because this was shown on like
320
Mac.
by 200.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can just
this
imagine Liz talking to the art director like, okay, so since this is a digital-only card, anything different we should do? And,
You have max 16 colors.
Right, and then management being like, nope, just a regular Magic card art. I'm sure it'll translate just fine.
Yep. Astral cards. There are a series of them, like Aswan Jaguar, which it's really bad and changes color. I had a joke for that, but then I lost it.
This card's actually kind of sweet. Like, it doesn't come into play tapped, and it might, in any given game, give you exactly the color you need every turn.
Yeah, exactly. I like throwing those dice. I love relying on RNG.
Yeah.
Because, maybe
We can all agree it's better than Thran Portal.
Yeah, like this would get played a bunch in Commander 5-color decks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Sure, why not?
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit random.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna click it more than once, even if I'm bored of it. You get the card that I get, and I will always go for the oldest printing.
Oh, God bless.
All
Do we
right.
have a time limit?
Per card?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Don't go over 5. We want to get through as many cards as we can.
Right.
Maybe inviting Wheeler on this podcast was a poor life choice. I don't know. We're gonna find out.
I'm not complaining because I think I'm gonna go over that.
No, but I'd like to officially complain that Wheeler's going to go over time if we don't give him 10 minutes per card.
That's true.
All right, here we go. First card.
Oh, Burst of Energy, a single white mana. It's an instant from Urza's Legacy that says untap target permanent.
Man, they just printed white twiddle.
Well, it can't tap a permanent, but who is Mark Brill? Why don't we still get Mark Brill painted Magic cards? I'm loving this.
We've gotten he's done a bunch.
Brill a racist or something?
Huh?
Is
No,
it?
no,
Okay,
no,
great,
no. I'll let
great.
you know though.
Oh, okay, all right.
I
Because I like the art style a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the angel clapping the sword,
Yeah.
doing the ninja parry.
Some people want coffee. I just need to catch a sword with my bare hands every morning.
Didn't Mythbusters do this? And this
Probably.
is basically just like an excellent way to get the palms of your hands sliced
Yeah,
off.
that sounds like a bad idea unless you're an angel. It's
But yeah, I mean, it's a statement.
this card is like, I don't know. Whenever I see cards that say untap and target and permanent, usually I try to break them. What can we do with this? The fact that it's white is kind of awkward, but you could probably, I mean, putting
No,
this on
wait.
an-
White. The fact that it's white is incredible because it goes in the new Elishnorn Commander, what's it called? The Icecrown Scepter deck that Dark Pact Cosplay was tweeting about. Put this on an Icecrown Scepter so that it can untap the Icecrown Scepter, and then I don't know if there's a white ritual that for 1 or 2 mana. Probably not.
No,
probably
there's
not. I think I
not.
would know about it, but like almost going infinite by just this and Icecrown Scepter.
Okay,
right?
so this Rings of Brighthearth, and then you have a Tolarian Academy that can add a billion mana.
Okay,
Or-
so
or
all you
Nyx
need,
Lotus.
yeah. Okay, so we're at what, $6,000 so far.
Yeah,
So
and we're
far.
breaking the rules.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We
This
need-
is
We need to replace our commander with like a Jeskai card, and then we can just put Mommy in the deck.
I stand ready to die for our world. Who will stand with me, Radiant Archangel?
Is this Urza's Destiny?
But yeah, heads up,
Legacy.
if you have a
Legacy.
Panharmonicon or a Panharmomicon, and then you play an Icecrown Scepter or any of those imprint cards, you get to imprint 2
Yeah.
cards. It's pretty messed up.
Imprint
Yeah.
is a triggered ability.
Yeah, that's like a rules call that I knew, and can remember handing out 15 years ago or whatever. But like, it hasn't come up very often.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like Icecrown Scepter.
Scepter.
Icecrown Scepter slipped. Fell off. R.I.P.
I've never seen this card before.
Well, let's see another one. Ooh, I've seen this card before. Psychic Trance, 2 and 2 blue. It's an instant, a rare from Onslaught that says, until end of turn, wizards you control gain tap counter target spell. Art by Rebecca Gay. And the Riptide Project was perhaps the only school devoted to preventing the spread of knowledge.
That's cool flavor text.
Yeah.
And cool art. And cool card, kind of. Why does it cost more than blue? It already doesn't counter the spell with just itself.
Well, this was an interesting time.
Yes.
Um,
This is when I started playing competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It Onslaught Block, for folks at home that don't know, has a very strong tribal theme in that the theme is strong, the cards are not, unless they're goblins or elves. If they're anything, I mean, soldiers got some stuff and zombies got some stuff, but and dragons. But they're like, I'm being kind.
It's also like 3 legend rules ago, and even it was like the last block, I think, or maybe the next year was the last block. Either Mirrodin or Onslaught were the last blocks where, like, if your creature type was wall, that meant intrinsically in the rules that you can't block.
I would get to push my glasses up so much this episode.
Nice. Enjoy.
Actually, Nelson,
Yes,
I believe
give me-
Defender was keyworded in Champions of Kamigawa.
Oh, so it was 1 more year. Okay, I was close. Yeah.
Also in the legend rule change.
But for sure that makes sense actually. But for sure this card from the set, it's like every tribal card that like mentions creature types has to include except legendary or wall. Like whenever they're talking about creature types, if you can change it from one to the other.
Yeah,
or like,
the Mistform
target
Ultimus
one of
stuff.
these creature. Yeah.
Yeah.
That and like there's a couple weird sort of changeling cards like Mistform Ultimus too.
I just really appreciate that Rebecca Gay is kind of channeling a little Ingres, the artist who really kind of like experimented with weird proportions. Like you'll have a very realistic portrait of someone, except one of their arms is extremely long.
Yeah.
It's like seeing one of those behind the scenes of a 3D rendered cartoon, where in order to
Right.
get a shot, you have to have like Yeah.
Make it.
Yeah, I
thick.
saw it. There was one going around on my Twitter from
Right,
Encanto.
Encanto, yeah.
where it's like she's holding up the prophecy, like the broken glass, and then you see the 3D rendering. And her arms are like as long as her whole body. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it would take you a while to figure out what was wrong in an Ingres painting.
Right.
I think that's how you pronounce his name. I've only ever seen it in text.
So what's wrong with this Rebecca Gay? Is the neck too much?
Yeah, I think it's her neck.
Yeah, that's
It's a lot of neck.
that's like extended neck.
And her her legs are very kind of like,
She's got like a dancer's pose.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's a cool piece. I like it
Yeah.
a lot. I just think the anatomy is distorted in a way that I kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
So, from a design standpoint, what do you think? Was this always just a throwaway? Because I want to say I have seen this card before, but all I've seen this card is I can distinctly remember taking a collection or like going through the YJ Overstock as I'm
Yeah.
like replacing the $1 rares or whatever, and I hit this and I'm like, huh. Nope. And then you just keep going. You're like, no, I don't need. I'm not going to sell this or whatever.
I
Like,
mean,
this is like worthless.
Yeah, this card's
Right?
bad and
Yeah.
probably not fun to actually play. Like the idea of like 4 mana not doing anything if you don't have wizards, and then if you have a wizard, it has to have been on the table for
Yeah.
some at a turn, and then you have to be able to cast this, and then your opponent, and while your opponent is casting a spell or whatever.
Yeah. It's
like-
it's so many hoops.
It does. I mean, it works against Storm in a way. Which
Okay,
is
yeah. No, I love it. I
Yeah.
want to. Let's drive towards the dream scenario of when you're playing this.
But I think the flavor is a cool sell because like you casting a counterspell is just like you are the wizard or the planeswalker that is stopping your opponent from doing it.
Right.
But you're in this game, you're also summoning other wizards. So it's always cool to be like, no, my wizards are the ones that are countering the
Yeah,
spell.
like I'm here on my phone,
yeah.
not really paying attention to it, and my inanimate objects are actually completely tanking your.
Yeah,
You're
that's
offensive.
cool because like when you have cards, especially wizard cards that are like they channeled the mystic energy to be able to quash any spell that comes their way that doesn't suit their tastes or whatever. You're like, oh, sick! What does this do? And it's like a 3 mana 1/1 that taps to scry 1 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's like 4 mana, and it's like an enchant artifact, and it's like enchanted artifact is
Yeah.
destroyed in owner's
So
upkeep
this-
unless they pay 1.
This
Yeah.
kind of puts some flavor into your kind of dorky wizards.
And I like that it's a Riptide card.
Okay, real quick here. Name is going to be whatever, different name. Type line same, text box same, printed in 2023. And just a second, form in your mind silently what the mana cost would be, and then
Green,
we'll say
green.
it together on 3. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Triple
1 blue.
blue.
Wow, triple blue.
I think you triple blue this.
You don't think this is just way overcosted if they were going to like put it
No,
in a
keep
set?
you keep it overcosted, but you just like
has to be.
push people for playing this in like their wizard commander deck.
Not
It's
even
like
double blue, hey?
No, I think just like you don't want to make it.
What if-
bigger spells are cooler to cast?
What if
right?
it gave you an emblem that said,
That
Can I
left it
swear
end of
on
turn?
this stream?
Yeah. Get those emblems out of my
that
game.
would be cracked.
Yeah.
Next card, please, James.
I gotta say, before the podcast started, you said, "Is there a way for them to all be old border?" And I was like, "No," but here we are.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah!
Keep going.
Mog Fanatic.
This card is such an important Magic card.
It's so good. Kids don't even know.
They
Kids don't even know.
They don't. No other card like was so like pivotal, so front and center on the stage in the decks commonly played when they changed the rules for damage on the stack.
Yeah. If I may.
Please.
1 red for a 1/1 summon goblin. I believe originally common. It's hard to tell with
now, do you
Tempest.
think it's also a warrior?
I think
Might be
it's just
berserker.
a goblin.
It's just a goblin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any goblin can be a Mog Fanatic.
Common from Tempest, I'm going to say. Sacrifice Mog Fanatic. Mog Fanatic deals 1 damage to any target. Art by Braum. Flavor text. I got it. Because it's a goblin falling off.
Yeah. He got it.
You got it. This card was pretty when damage stacked.
right?
Which is
so
pretty
you could
huge.
like swing in, do 1 damage,
Mm-hmm.
and then like sack it to like
Yeah.
take down a 2 toughness
Yeah.
Yeah, to
defender.
to explain it real quick for everybody, and I always liked Magic Online because it did a great job visually, but it's like damage used to be combat damage used to be like an item that went on the stack, like one big spell. Like if you imagine an ability card, like it's a magic card, and it just says all of the combat damage, and so then it goes on the stack during the combat damage step. The creatures are all still in play, and then stuff can happen. You can bounce your own creature with unsummon, and then its damage still gets dealt, and you can recast it. You can sacrifice your Mock Fanatic to deal damage. It was a wild time. It was so different.
So if you've ever wondered why cards like, I don't know, just a couple of examples, like Sakura Tribe Elder, a sacrifice ability.
Another great one.
Ravenous Baloth, 4 mana 4/4, sack a beast, gain 4 life, which looks so stupid nowadays to think that card was once like $25.
Right.
Or even stuff like Morphling, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Where
yeah.
Morphling, another huge one.
Yeah. What was the Azorius one from original block? It was a rare
Oh,
cloud something.
Wind Reaver.
Wind Reaver.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wind Reaver.
That
Came up at FNM.
Damage stacking is I mean, this is obviously through nostalgia goggles, but I kind of miss it. Like it's a cool
The game was
aspect of the
different.
game.
Yeah. Nostalgia goggle. I hear that. I like the game better now, I think.
Yes.
And it's just so much easier to explain to people.
Yes.
Like it was a good step forward for design, but yes, along with mana burn, damage on the stack is just one of these things where you're like,
It is one of
those
those
are the days.
Yeah,
we didn't know.
It's one of those things that will like drive me to be like, I should just build a bunch of constructed decks from this era and we play with the rules, like with mana burn and with damage stacking.
Yeah, you need to put the Mog Fanatics in one of those decks, absolutely.
This card is still like a house or not a house, but it's still just like I always play it in Goblins.
I think it's still unplayable in
Yeah.
most, in Highlander, you're saying,
Yes, in
right?
Canadian
I think it's
Highlander,
fine in Canadian Highlander still. Just because the flexibility of having a 1/1 or a single point, right? And no mana.
and it just puts itself in the graveyard, and there are
That too.
goblins that care about that.
So many things.
It's kind of funny that this card has also just been like it was played in Goblins. It has been played in like mono red. It was a killer card in like Sly from this era. And saw play in I think when it was in 9th edition, was it? It got reprinted and was played in Zoo decks for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But also just a Flash Hulk card. Like this was your kill in Flash Hulk.
Right, if you're recurring it constantly, it's like,
Yeah, so this card is just like being around the world, basically.
Absolutely. And mostly because of the trading with tutus thing, it had a cool nickname, at least in our part of the world, Mog Fantastic. I don't know if that was everywhere, but like that was its name until they changed damage on the stack, and then it was like, okay.
All right, Old Border Run ends.
What? Swarm of blood flies.
Remember, you've got
Cons of Tarkir.
vetoes.
4 and a black for an insect with flying. It ETBs with 2 1/1 counters on it. Whenever another creature dies, you put a 1/1 counter on Swarm of blood flies.
Don't we have something like this in Phyrexia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 of them.
We have so many of these.
Only it's 1 less mana now?
Well, not the original, but one that is pretty similar to this. There's a Drake, Scavenger Drake, I want to say is its name, which is like a 4 mana version from Shards of Alara. We have...
Do you mean the Gariel? Is that what you're talking about?
No, but Gariel is there
same too, right?
Yeah,
Also
yeah.
from Shards of Alara, that has hexproof instead of flying.
Crocodile not needed here.
That's right, Crocodile not needed. Our friend Ryan Smith back in the day had this Mulda 5 in a Shards of Alara draft on Magical.
No, it was Zendikar.
Oh, it was Zendikar? Oh, okay.
This was the
that's
Hagra
Zendikar.
Crocodile story.
Oh, it was Hagra Crocodile.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Okay, yeah,
Yes,
Scavenger Drake. 4 mana 1/1 flying. Whenever another creature is put to a graveyard from play, you may put a 1/1 counter on it. There's one in Ixalan called Mausoleum Harpy.
There's definitely one in one of the Ravnicas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are some.
In fact, it might have just been a reprint.
This is
Swarm of
you
Bloodflies.
control.
Ugh.
I know we've talked about this card already for like 2 minutes in a way, but I don't know. How do you two feel about?
These creatures are always like more playable than you think in draft.
Yeah.
And then they either end up being like always kind of fine, or sometimes there's like a really good reason to play them, and your deck is way better if you have 2. But you don't usually ever want more than 2 because they're always expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like a weird grow creature, right? They don't use this ability often enough to want to name the ability, but
Yeah.
it's like
It feels like it should be an ability.
it's never had this. Any type of creature like this has never really had a constructed moment.
I mean,
They just put it on a 1/1 for one, it would. But
if this was a keyword ability that you had on like 3 creatures on the board,
Yeah.
right? Like,
it can get out of hand.
yeah. Yeah, if this was kind of like Evolve, and,
Right.
you had a draft environment where a faction was based around this,
Yeah.
like Simic.
And you had like a reassembling skeleton and a free sack outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cool level 1 MTG Salvation forums create a card for this is just what if they made one of these that's also indestructible?
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it just kind of sits.
Just sits there and keeps getting bigger, kind of like Mr. Baby Cakes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Now we're back in the old border.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
Mr. Baby Cakes?
Oh, that's just the nickname for the first you designed the card, which went into, I think, also Onslaught, right?
Scourge.
Oh, Scourge.
Forgotten
Yeah.
Ancient, baby.
Forgotten Ancient, yeah, which is
Yeah.
just this creature that gets bigger every upkeep, and also you can move its +1/+1 counters around to other creatures.
I definitely played this in my elves deck at F&M.
Nice.
Because I played all these elves. Might as well make Baby Cakes bigger here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, great magic card. Whenever anybody plays a spell, this
Right,
card's
it's the
still
original Mana Gorger Hydra.
yeah, it's still a house in Commander. I think.
Yeah.
It's just super
seems
cool.
fine.
I like that we've figured out a way to not use our vetoes on a card, but also just change the topic to to a different, much cooler card.
Pick the conversation up, move it around.
We're back to old border, baby.
Yes, yeah. Oh, this one's this is
Yeah.
an
Important
absolute
card,
slam
actually.
dunk.
Yeah.
Ritual of the Machine. 2/2 black. It's a sorcery from Alliances. Artwork by Anson Maddox. It says, as an additional cost to cast this spell, you sacrifice a creature. Gain control of target non-black, non-artifact creature.
In black?
And it just stop.
We're
Not until end
stealing
of
a
turn.
creature? It's not even an enchantment?
Rumors persist of dark deeds performed in the depths of Soldev. When will Dagson heed the danger therein? Serene Relic Bane, Soldevi Heretic.
This card was probably actually super clutch in early Commander. It's probably still not that bad in Commander now.
It's
Because it gives you a way to steal stuff in black.
I
it's
mean,
hot.
Yeah.
This is saying
when I
saying
think
it's
mono
$9,
black-
so
There you go.
$9?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
When I think mono
It should be
black
20.
commander cards,
Buy your Ritual and Machines now.
I think of decks that have a real hard time playing other people's cards.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, of course the Gaunty player
Yeah,
is
it's
just
like,
this seems great. I get to play with your stuff.
Before Gaunty, you could Ritual the Machine.
This is actually, I will say though, if you have a Gaunty commander deck with a bunch of cards, all the we talked about this a couple days ago, all the Undying Evil, Feign Death,
Right.
Malakir Rebirth,
Yeah.
the cards say when this dies, bring it back.
Yeah.
You just play sack outlets, so you just get to Gaunty everybody forever.
That was my
well,
first
I mean,
Commander deck that I liked.
Yeah.
It was
This lets
just
you-
reanimate Gaunty. Yeah.
This is like, if you're playing Gaunty and your opponent actually resolves something.
Ugh. Heaven
Right?
forbid.
Yeah.
Or if you just need to steal the other part of their combo. You don't have all of their combo yet, and part of it's on the board.
You Gaunty them and flip brain.
Flip their brain.
Pestermite?
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or God, the thing that goes in elves.
Craterhoof Behemoth?
Craterhoof,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Steal their Elish Norn, and then you get double Gaunty trick.
Yes. Plus, this,
Steal their Elish Norn, sack their Elish Norn to steal their, I don't know.
other Elish.
Their other
Elish
Elish
Norn.
Norn.
Because they're
yeah.
both good.
Steal their Grand Cenobite.
Yeah.
Thank you for the old border, James.
all right. Well, sorry about this then.
And also, no until end of turn. Huh.
I'd like to veto this. This is I'll read the card first.
Okay.
Access Tunnel. It's a land from Strixhaven. Taps out a colorless. Pay 3, tap. Target creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn.
I guess it's kind of like Lightning Bolt.
It's a Rogue's Passage, but not everyone fits.
Which is probably cooler design than Rogue's Passage.
Yeah. Rogue's Passage is actually, it turns out, kind of a garbage card, right? It's sort of like this weird thing where it doesn't, anything that doesn't always work, but then when it does work is super broken.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Those cards suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you never want to have to strip mine a Rogue's Passage.
Yeah.
But
Until
until you're like,
until
I
you're
have
like,
to
I
strip
have to
mine this
strip
Rogue's
Yeah.
Passage or I die.
the Rogue's Passage does get some extra points where I don't know, there's a Twitter account that does this, but it's drawings of different cards when they interact.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Um,
MTG Flavor Judge.
Yeah, Flavor
Yes,
Judge.
MTG
Yeah.
Flavor Judge. Shout out to you.
So just like the idea of like a Rogue's Passage with, like Emrakul or whatever is kind of funny, where
Right.
you just have this massive creature and it's like sneaking through this back
Yeah,
alley.
it's actually the continent. It's like the Slumbering Isle or something, or like Island Fish Just going.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
getting through the passage. Yeah.
Do you also get a sinking feeling when you see a commander precon with Rogue's Passage in it? And you're just like, well,
Oh, one of us is getting attacked.
Yeah.
For a lot, and we don't have any say. Yeah. I guess these cards are good checks to try and be like, telling people to play more spot removal doesn't work, but killing people over and over again
don't play spot
who
removal?
don't play spot removal will push them to play a little bit more.
yeah.
And cards like Rogue's Tunnel or Rogue's Passage and Access Tunnel can push that, where it's like, well, you
I remember way back in the day there was Dwarven Tunneler,
yes,
that Rogue Passage was
Dwarven Warriors, you mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
from
yeah.
Alpha Beta. Yeah,
Yeah,
2
yeah.
in a red, 1/1 target creature with power 2 or less can't be
and
blocked
then
this
you
turn.
used it on Pump Nights.
Yeah, you
And-
put it
yeah.
on Dragon Whelp or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Order of Lightbearer. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's Goblin Tunneler,
That
which is the functional or the
Yeah.
updated version.
right.
I
so,
mean,
like-
you learn the rules fast in some situations.
All right, thank you.
All right, James.
Thanks,
we didn't
James.
even
We
have to
vetoed
veto
this
this.
card.
that was the worst veto. All right.
I think Wheeler should retain his
yeah.
veto.
Yeah.
Wheeler can keep his veto.
All right.
He won't use it for this though.
Nice Elena Danner.
Whoa, yeah.
Wow.
All right.
So many Onslaught era
Oh
champions.
my God.
here.
Yeah, Exalted Angel, 4 white for a 4/5 angel with flying. Whenever Exalted Angel deals damage, you gain that much life.
Oh,
not
so it's-
lifelink.
Yeah, so it stacks with lifelink.
Yeah, it does. And then it has Morph for 2 and white. If you don't know what Morph is, you can pay the Morph cost, which is 3 generic, to play this card face down as a 2/2, and then you can turn it face up at any time.
James,
for
I'd like
Morph
to use my
cost.
veto.
No. No. I'd like to use the veto on the veto.
All right, Cam, you're the only one with a veto. Good luck.
I mean,
You were telling us about the morph cost. Yeah.
This would be a rude surprise for 4 mana, finding out that the 2/2 morph is actually a 4/5 pseudo lifelinker.
it's
With
all
flying.
It's always Exalted Angel, until it's Willbender. But then
Right.
you're dead.
Look, if it attacked, it's Exalted Angel, and
Yes.
if it's been sitting there and you don't know what it is, it's Willbender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until it's like Putrid Raptor, and you're just like, oh Christ.
Every now and then, it's that alley from Cairo with morph.
Ooh, Fortune Thief.
Yeah.
Um,
They said Scryfall randoms, but like this is like the most common card you would see if you walked into a Mad Card store for like a 5-year period.
yeah, this card is now. I was actually looking at buying more copies of this card recently.
Okay.
It's because it's popular in pre-modern.
Okay.
It's just. I can't. Yeah, you said it well about being the most popular card.
So
The
many,
hold
so many
this
combat
card
steps.
has over me of like cards I don't need to buy either more of or spend that much money. Like, why do I need a foil German copy of this card?
I don't know.
I really don't.
I don't know why, but
It's all
I'm not going to tell you
I
don't.
want. And
No,
I'll
but-
pay the 300 euro, whatever. It's ludicrous.
Really?
I mean, maybe not that much, but like non-foil copies of this card are like $10 US, maybe even more.
Yeah,
and
this card holds an important place in many of our hearts.
Yeah, it is.
Can't see why.
Can I veto that last statement by Cameron? Oh, and playing this with Astral Slide too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Untap it randomly, then
Yeah.
it blocks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let's just
You win a lot of
stay on this
games.
card for a little
You win a lot of
longer.
games with Exalted Angel, my friends.
Yeah.
You ready to move on?
No, but
Not
yes.
really.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah,
for
it's
the
like-
purpose of entertainment. Yeah.
Look at who you're asking.
Yeah. Here you go.
Vampire Charm Seeker. 6 blue and a black for a 3/4 vampire wizard from Battle Bond. It's an uncommon. It has an ability called Assist, which is another player can pay up to 6 for the spell's cost. Of course, Battle Bond is a set that was intended to be played and drafted with the idea of 2-headed giant. So Assist here being like your teammate can help pay for this, which is why it costs 8. It has flying, and when it enters the battlefield, you return target instant, sorcery, or creature card from a graveyard to its owner's hand. This card is pretty cool.
Yeah, I would flicker this.
Yep. Like
It's probably, you can reanimate it. I suppose in Battle Bond this is kind of a turn 4 play.
Yeah, you can just play. Well, it's usually it's a little later than turn 4 because you want to get some value out of the trigger.
Right.
But yeah, it was a strong include in your deck for sure.
I think it's
Get back a kill spell or whatever.
you could play this in Commander if you're just
Yeah.
like you could either be like, hey, does anybody want to help me play this card? And usually depending on the table, people are like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just to get it going. Or you could be like, hey, can you pay for the initial one? So I'll return that removal spell so I can deal with this problematic card this
exactly.
player has. And then
it's from a graveyard
Yes.
to
Yeah, you
its
can
owner's
return
hand.
someone
Yeah.
else's Swords
Yeah.
to Plowshares if you want, and then they can stab you in the back and
Yeah,
Swords
yeah.
the Vampire Charmseeker.
Yeah. It's like, why? It's like,
this
yeah, the scorpion and the frog.
Yeah. This is like the design space that I am really upset that we don't see anymore or as much because of digital magic, where so many cards can now only target your opponents instead of yourself or permanents you control, where that just removes this like dynamic of play where like the big brain moment when you're like, wait a minute, I can mana war my own creature.
Right.
Cool.
Yes. Yes.
Like you lose that, or losing like a spot where you're like, wait a minute, I want to regrowth a card for my opponent so they have so many cards in hand that they like take more damage from this black face kind of stuff. Like you lose that. And they get rid of it because they got rid of it or don't use it that often because they don't want people misclicking on Arena.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
it makes sense for standard legal sets and whatnot, but still kind of a bummer because there's so much play to them in Commander, and like the puzzle finding nature of them is really interesting.
The
Yeah.
probably the rarest mode on this card is like if your opponent in Commander is about to resolve like the third chapter of the Elder Dragon Returns or whatever from Dominaria. What's that card called? It's like 4 and a black. We played a bunch of it. They have to sacrifice a creature. To
Oh,
discard
Eldest Reborn.
The
Eldest
Eldest
Reborn.
Reborn. Yeah, it's like if there's some sort of reanimation spell that everyone could see coming a mile away, you can actually like put their reanimator target back in their hand.
Yeah.
But in Commander, everyone just has enough mana to cast it again, so
Yeah.
not as cool. But the effects that do that regrowth anything, it's like every now and then you get to get
Pulse
someone.
Pulse Marausa is a good one.
Pulse Marausa can
Yeah.
target anybody, and you can put their reanimator target back in their hand.
Yeah.
You still gain 6 life. Yeah.
All right.
That's good. James, can we have the next card, please?
Jams.
Cats.
Ooh, cat card.
Floofwagon.
Eska's Chariot. 3 and a green for a 4/4 legendary artifact vehicle. It's a rare. Not even a mythic, huh?
Not even a mythic.
All right.
Not even a mythic.
Didn't draft this set much. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. From Call Time. When it enters the battlefield, you create 2/2 green cat creature tokens. Whenever it attacks, you create a token that's a copy of target token you control, and crew 4. So it comes in, makes the cats. You can crew the car. The car makes more cats.
I don't see the problem. It doesn't have haste, doesn't have trample.
This
What
is
could
like-
it possibly makes a cat every turn?
This is like the 2021 version of Exalted Angel, where it's
Yeah.
like, hey, Scryfall random, let's look at some weird cards that no one's seen. And it's just like, oh, that card that was on top of Standard the whole time.
Yeah, this card that is like pretty cool and good in Gladiator and can kill people in Commander and should probably be played in. I mean, it still sees play in
Historic or
Pioneer.
Explorer. Pioneer,
and,
yeah.
Greasefang, the Abzan Greasefang decks.
That's
that
right.
Play copies of this card.
Yeah, this card just like won a Pro Tour probably, or came in second or something.
It, yeah, very cute cats too. It's
So cute. The token for this is on a lot of people's top 5 token lists.
yeah.
Why didn't you draft more Call Time? I thought you liked Snowlands.
I didn't like that set. Yeah, I found Call Time to be pretty boring to draft. Yeah,
All
not a
right.
big fan.
All right. I was a big fan.
I know.
Okay.
I know a lot of
Talked
people were.
talked about it already.
No,
That's
man,
fine.
this set sucks. It's fine. I'd like to veto that statement. My own statement.
Okay, I'll take it.
Noted.
Thank you. Next one, James, please.
Ooh.
Psychic Possession. 2 and 2 blue for an enchantment. It's an aura. You enchant an opponent. Skip your draw step. Whenever an enchanted opponent draws a card, you may draw a card.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, this is like the classic dissension. This is Dissension, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the kind of classic Dissension, like bad rare. I mean, it's
Yeah.
cool, but
Yeah.
wow, they sure like to print goofy ass like auras and artifacts.
Yeah,
It
that
reminds-
don't really
yeah.
do anything.
It reminds me of the other 2 and blue card we saw earlier, where it's like, okay, this is a weird, unique effect. Until end of turn, your wizards tap to counter spells. What should this cost? And when they're putting it out the door, they're like, well, we've never made anything like this before, so better make it like kind of safe. How about 2 blue?
Yeah. So like by just playing this alone, it doesn't really do anything except for you draw. I guess you may draw is kind of funny.
Yeah,
It's like-
I guess you've drawn a card for your turn.
Yeah.
Then you play this, and you draw a card on your opponent's draw.
Yeah.
It combos with a bunch of stuff, right? It combos with symmetrical draw.
Yeah.
And then it also weirdly combos with this other card from, I want to say Mirrodin block, that has Fate in the name.
Fate Spinner.
No, not Fate Spinner. Maybe Mirrodin block is wrong, but it's like a 5 mana
Vaguely
enchantment
describe it.
that like, yeah,
5 mana enchantment.
it's like 4 and a blue.
Shared Fate.
Shared
Mirrodin.
Fate. Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What do you mean, really?
Just the Wheeler figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring up Shared Fate because I don't remember
4
what
and a
it
blue
does.
enchantment from Mirrodin.
Yeah.
It's a rare. If a player would draw a card, that player exiles the top card of an opponent's library from the game face down instead. And each player may look and play the cards they've removed from the game with Shared Fate as though they were in their hand.
So, okay, if you have both these enchantments
Huh.
in play, what ends up happening is you skip your draw step, then your opponent would draw a card, but instead looks at the top of your library and
Yeah.
exiles one.
Yeah.
And then you also do that because on their draw step, you're supposed to draw a card, but you can't because this is in play. So you exile both libraries very slowly.
Wait, hold on. No,
Right?
this replaces the draw. The other one's a trigger. So you don't actually get to draw cards.
No, but you do this, right? Nobody draws cards anymore at all. Instead,
Yeah.
they look at their opponent's stuff, and then the second half of Shared Fate is you can play that stuff, right? Sorry, James, I didn't get to the bottom of Shared Fate.
No,
I
I'm
can
just
remember
trying,
Ed explaining
I'm trying
this
to
combo to me
feel
like 10 years
why
ago.
this
Yeah.
is a combo. So they don't get to draw.
Well,
And whenever your opponent would draw, you draw. But that's never, or sorry, nobody gets to draw.
nobody gets to draw ever.
Great.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But each player may look at and play cards they removed from the game with Shared Fate as though they were in their hand. Well,
Okay.
maybe this doesn't do anything.
Yeah, this doesn't do
This doesn't do
I don't think
anything.
this does anything.
All right, my bad.
I just like the art on Shared Fate.
Good for me for even remembering these two
Mac
cards
Cavada.
exist.
Yeah, I love this kind of like brand of blue card where a fireball's pretty easy to figure out what it should look like. But what should this effect look like?
Oh, and there's so many of them. They get very abstract to just like, what if two people were thinking about the same bolt of lightning?
Yeah,
Or Matt Cavada, great,
okay, wait.
great mountains from Invasion Block.
This is combos with Leveler, right?
There is a combo with this card.
You just want to exile your library. You just want to pay a black and then name Sarpadian Empires Volume 3.
Well, wait,
'Cause
how
if
would
you-
this combo?
Because now because both of these turn off your draw step. Maybe it's just something they had in common. So Shared Fate turns off your draw step, so you're not going to lose to milling.
Yeah.
But neither player's going to lose to milling while it's
Yes.
in play. But also, if you just exile your library or mill yourself, if you get your library out of the picture, now your opponent doesn't draw more cards, and you do. You get to keep playing their stuff, and they get to play nothing. They might kill you with what's on the board. You spend your turn casting Shared Fate, but like future cards, you have access to
Oh.
future cards, and they don't.
So if they would draw, instead they don't. And because you are never drawing. Wait, no. If they would draw, they exile the card
They
from...
Gaunty you. Yeah,
They Gaunty
it's like-
you.
But everybody Gaunties each other instead of drawing, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they get to then play with my cards. But I am never drawing a card, so I'm never exiling cards from their deck. This isn't a combo. This just locks
Still, the
you
combo
out,
still
right?
just doesn't work. Terrible.
I need... James, next one, please.
All right,
Please.
Shared Fate.
There's
You
no way.
win.
Oh.
Shared Fate 2, Nelly 0.
Yo, this card...
Only bangers tonight.
This card is so good.
So good.
And people are not going to understand
In
how
Peasant
powerful-
Highlander specifically.
Illuminate and a draft. This card
Oh,
is a
yeah,
house
draft.
and draft.
Yeah.
Illuminate. X and a red. It's a sorcery from Apocalypse. Christopher Mueller art. It's an uncommon. Kicker for 2 and a red and or 3 and a blue. So you can pay either of those or one or the other.
Come with us, folks. We're 8 mana deep on this card, and we haven't put any into X yet.
Illuminate deals X damage to target creature, and if you paid 2 and a red, Illuminate deals X damage to that creature's controller, and if you paid 3 and a blue, you draw X cards.
It's like the original Eldrazi Titans, right? You get a little bit more if you can have 15 mana, but 12 is good.
Yeah.
It's still worth playing for 12.
This is Invoke the Firemind at home, in a way. No, but Invoke can't do both.
Yeah.
Find you a sorcery that does both.
Both? Yeah. I've stared at this thing in my hand for so many turns.
Yeah, it's like I just need to live 7 more turns and then I've got him.
Good news. Creatures suck.
It's
From
true.
this era?
It's true.
Yeah.
I've stared at it a lot and then eventually cast it for X's 3 and been like, that was pretty good.
Yeah. So, like, as somebody, and this isn't a joke, but I went deep on Invasion Block Constructed.
Oh, cool. Was it
during the
Block
pandemic?
constructed?
Yeah.
Block Constructed.
Really? Recently?
Yeah, well,
Oh, okay.
in
I
the
thought you were gonna
past-
say when you were a kid.
In the
So
past,
you were just like flopping Volvers?
I don't want to, correlation isn't causation, but it was around the time that I had my really bad concussion.
Oh, God. Right. Sorry.
But
Good.
I spent a lot of time reading through not only like the constructed stuff, because that was what I was focusing on, but through all the draft reports and stuff from old pro tours. And
You're
this
on the
card,
dojo archives of the internet or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, going
Sweet.
through the Wayback Machine and
Yeah.
pulling. So when I couldn't find deck lists online, like the tournaments were just incomplete. I posted one time. I posted about it on Twitter. I'm like, I can't find this. This is a silly question. Anybody know?
Right, you Kibler
and
Google it.
BDM
Yeah.
just tags the player.
Nice.
Like they just tag the player of like,
Nice.
hey, do you remember what you were on?
playing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Awesome.
But like your creatures were bad. And the removal was absurd. Like Repulse was a common. Like 3 mana,
Right,
bounce the
right.
thing, draw a card. Temporal Spring was a common. Jilt was a common. Just a whole bunch of stuff. So like this looks like it's a quadrillion mana if you want to use all 3, or even if you want to use 2 of them.
You could
but
end of turn repulse them and then untap probe them.
yeah, like things were slow. And like it was basically everybody spending so much time developing their really bad mana base. And so like you could just kill people with this, or just, I don't know, killing their creature, like paying like 9 mana to kill their creature and then draw 4 cards is still pretty hot. Like back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. James. Mishra, Artificer Prodigy. 1 blue, black, and a red for a 4/4 legendary creature human artificer. Whenever you play an artifact spell, you may search your graveyard, hand, and or library for a card with the same name as that spell and put it into play. If you do, shuffle your library afterward.
Weirdly, everyone on the Canadian Highlander crew needs to be Team Urza just because of this card. It's like, why would you slight us this way, Mishra? We want to root for you.
Yeah.
Also, I'm only just now realizing Mishra was in the original X-Men.
I mean, he looks a bit like the bass player from, I'm going to say, Disturbed.
Yeah. That's probably a good
red,
case.
red hat on him,
Or
and he's
corn,
like from
maybe?
Limp Biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought my bath salts off this guy. I can't believe he's a 4/4. Like, I guess he's a
Yeah.
3-color card, but like
Those are good stats, right? For like a wizard, right?
4 mana 4/4 for just like just a guy that's doing artifact stuff. That's wild. James, can you pull up Blood Funnel
Ooh.
from Ravnica, City of Guilds? Because I think there's a combo with these 2 cards.
You have to sacrifice a creature every time you cast a spell, but it's cheaper.
What is the combo with these 2 cards? There's some I'm pulling up old like building on a budget / like
Yeah.
MT,
against
daily
the odds,
MTG,
Yeah.
against the odds,
Yeah.
those kind of things. There was a combo deck
I thought
involving
when
these 2
Saffron had
cards.
this, he just wanted to give it to his opponent.
That's probably the right thing to do. Yeah, donating this card seems a lot better. Blood Funnel is 2 mana enchantment. Says non-creature spells you play cost 2 less to cast, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, counter that spell unless you sack a creature. Great. Hey, good with Young Pyromancer.
Okay, so you Young Pyromancer, you Mishra, and then you Pentad Prism.
No, you're thinking
Not
too
Pentet.
new. This I'm talking
Prophetic
like
Prism,
people
though.
were doing stuff with this card and like some garbage where they were
Like
just
Mishra's
like,
Bauble was out around
It's
the
just
same
getting
time
like a
because
second
it was
Masticore
Cold
out.
Snap.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, like they were just like chaining a bunch of stuff from the graveyard. God.
It's definitely a card that I've looked at and several times thought, wow, I wonder if I can figure out a modern deck for this. Like, maybe there's some way to make this work with old cards. And, yeah. No, then I just went to
Did
sleep.
it do something with like Wheel of Sun and Moon or something? Like you cast it, you have these triggered abilities. One of them counters the spell, you let it happen, and then it just another thing puts
Right.
it back on the bottom.
And then you get the other one in play or
And
whatever.
and you get some added value. Like I think you need another piece.
Let
but
us know in the comments about your favorite Mishra Artificer Prodigy deck.
give me your Mishra Artificer Prodigy combo. No cards printed after 2012.
Okay. Okay, that's an exciting challenge.
James? Ghost Hounds. 1 in a black for a 1/1 summon hounds from Homelands. Vigilance. If assigned to block any white creatures or any white creatures are assigned to block it, Ghost Hounds gains first strike until end of turn. So this is just to make sure we're all on the same page. This is a black creature with vigilance that also gains first strike.
Yep.
Two classic mechanics
Just-
for black.
Yeah.
Just repping the black color pie as hard as possible. We also had a black control magic earlier tonight.
That's true.
It's a funny night.
This isn't the worst card I've seen in Homelands.
No.
I mean, it can theoretically kill your opponent, so it's doing something.
Yep.
2 mana, 1/1 vigilance, slap a giant strike on there.
Ooh.
Go to town.
Howl from Beyond targeting this.
Sure.
I guess that's the same with the Howl from Beyond on any creature. Yeah.
No, but it curves well because this is 2 mana. So you could Howl from Beyond for 3.
I think that actually gives this like some extra points in that this is just a 2 mana creature.
Yeah, this card's like not really that offensive. Like say that it just had flavor text and you're like, huh, why am I spending an extra 1 mana for my 1/1? And then you look at the rest of your homelands, you're like, it could have been worse.
If this was in like Masks block or whatever, like I would just be like, okay, great. It doesn't cause me to sack lands.
Yeah.
Thank you for the ghost dog, James. I'd like to veto this. This is Painful Lesson from Amon
You
Cat.
still have a veto?
I think
Painful
so.
Lesson, 2 and a black, sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life.
All right, that's it. Nope, he's vetoed it. Moving on.
I didn't think you had a veto left.
Sphinx of the Second Sun. 6 and 2 blue from Commander Legends. It's a 6/6 Sphinx with flying. And at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you get an additional beginning phase after this phase. The beginning phase includes the untap, upkeep, and draw. Importantly, this doesn't give you an additional main phase. So
Right.
the way that this plays out is, let's say we play this card in pre-combat main. We go to attacks, we did whatever. Then we go to post-combat. This ability triggers, right? And then we go through our post-combat. We play our spells. Then we get our additional beginning. So we untap, trigger any upkeep effects. Then we draw, and then we go to end step.
This reminds me of the guy who at PAX came up to our booth and explained to us that our phases shirt was wrong.
Oh, like that
Yeah,
plunge
because-
and unturn one?
No,
Like-
no. The
rotate?
upkeep, untap, draw,
Okay.
main and combat and main and end
Oh,
was
good.
wrong because it should just say like pre-combat main, or
Great.
because we had steps and phases
Sure.
equated as the same thing, and he's like, see, this is the kind of thing that you hear I remember him saying, like, it's upkeep, untap, and draw is the kind of thing that you hear usually not very good players saying to themselves so they don't forget things at the start of a game.
Thanks
or
so
start of a
much,
turn.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna actually this
this guy that
asshole that you met. Say that again.
He was complaining about our phases shirt because it confused phases and steps.
That part I got. That's just being a pedantic jerk.
Yeah.
The second one where like bad players.
Yeah, you hear them saying you will hear them say untap, upkeep, draw kind of under their breath in order that so that they don't forget something.
So I like to do that myself in events everywhere from competitive to locally, because I don't want to get mucked in a judge call by somebody being like, they didn't do that. They didn't announce this trigger. They didn't announce to go anywhere. They didn't give me time to do this. They weren't clear. Communication is the biggest way that people are going to try to cheat you at comp events. And the way to not get scummed is by being as
clear and communicative.
Exactly. And also, have you seen good players? They forget their Aether Vial all the time.
Yeah.
If they don't have Magic Online in front of them handling some of these, they're going to get schmucked.
Yeah, these not so good players and the good players have quite a bit in common, turns out.
The other thing that struck me about this card was, as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, weird, I didn't know they had Sphinxes on Amonkhet. And immediately some part of my brain just grabbed the back of my collar and was like, did you ever listen to yourself? I'm like, I try not to.
Okay, I have an important Sphinx question, actually.
Sure.
Brought on partly by this art, which is cool. I like it, but it made me think of something, and I want to ask this question. Do Sphinxes poop in some kind of litter box situation, like a cat, or do they just poop while they're flying, like a bird? Let us know in the comments.
Probably both.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that a Sphinx on the wing taking a dump just has a body count associated with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe whole towns.
If I'm at home, I'll go on record saying this. I proudly use my washroom to piss and or poop. Right?
Me
Like
too.
when I'm at home.
Controversial.
I think everybody would agree.
I usually go in the toilet.
However,
Yeah.
if I'm on the road, it's a long stretch of highway.
I don't know where we're going next, and I'm
pissing.
afraid.
I'm pissing
we're
out
on the
that
road
window.
and- yeah.
I'm pissing out that window. Is all I'm saying. So they probably do both. It depends on the situation.
Okay. So don't drive near Wheeler. You've learned today, kids.
No, I
Yeah,
don't do it regularly.
We're going to learn all kinds of things about fluid dynamics and slipstreams in the next several seconds.
Not to put a timestamp on when we're recording this, but there's
what
currently
the
a
hell?
stream going on in the other office, and as I start talking about pooping and peeing out a moving car window, my name pops up in chat multiple times.
Like Heather and Paul are streaming something, and somehow you've shown up on their stream.
Oh my god. Okay.
There must have been eggs.
Right.
Yeah, or a sphinx
I-
taking a dump.
I assume that the character Roy in their game likes eggs.
Yeah.
Or no, they're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, well, that makes sense. James, the next Yu-Gi-Oh card, please. Ooh. Adakar Valkyrie. 4 white for a 4/5 Snow Angel from Cold Snap. It's a rare, art by Jeremy Jarvis. It has flying and vigilance and tap. When target creature other than Adakar Valkyrie is put into a graveyard this turn, return that card to play under your control. Notably, you can target your opponent's cards and then kill them and gain control of them.
This card is like the top level of draft bomb.
For Cold Snap, it's,
Yeah. Like
you're either
great
rippling
card.
or you're doing this.
I mean,
Yeah.
with vigilance, it can swing in, get blocked, activate itself.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of like Mom too. Like it can't protect itself, but you untap with this thing, you're like, well, my creatures are all immortal now. Or at least the first one that dies every turn. It's a very comfortable feeling getting to beat in with this and know that you also are keeping other creatures alive.
I know that we get angels pretty often, in sets, but not as much as we used to, which is a big bummer. Admittedly,
Yeah, new
I'm willing to come out and say it,
Or last year.
and I'll go on record saying this. I'm an angels guy.
Okay.
I think I've come to terms with that. I'm an
Nothing
angels.
wrong with that.
I came to term a long time ago. I like to cast my Baneslayer Angel, and I like to keep up Force of Will to counter anybody killing it. If that's what I get to do for Magic, I'm a happy camper. There's a line of sets from this era primarily. I want to go 2000 to 2008 or so, where just every set had just an absolute banger of an angel and commander.
Right. There's
Or,
every
in
set had
casual.
one angel and one dragon and one demon or something,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
But the angels were always heaters. Pristine Angel, Luminous Angel, Adakar Valkyrie here, Twilight Shepherd. Like, it's just...
Karmic Guide, was that from this era?
That Karmic Guide is Urza's Legacy, but, I mean, Revelark is also in this era.
Right,
Which brings
okay.
back Karmic
Karmic
Guide.
Guide, yeah.
And also Karmic Guide with Adhikar Valkyrie is pretty hot. It dies to your echo, and you just get to bring it back and
Oh,
bring
brutal.
something else
yeah.
back.
Is she holding two halves of a sword?
Oh my god, she
Yeah, I
is.
think that's the deal. Yeah.
That's what happens
That's
when
kind of
you
sweet. Yeah.
clap the
Yeah, you
sword.
clap.
We're
the sword.
bringing it back to the first card, everybody.
I just slapped my my microphone.
That's okay. The people will love it at home. Do we have time for...
So I
Maybe-
was
maybe
gonna
one more or what?
I was gonna suggest
Three
see how
more?
you y'all feel about maybe a lightning round here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll throw up a card. You each get one sentence.
Okay.
All right.
How long of a sentence? And can we do
Yes.
run-on sentences?
Absolutely
No
not.
breaths.
Okay.
Standard sentence.
Now,
all
are we
right?
going Wheeler, Nelson, Cameron?
Yeah, we'll go. We'll snake it. We'll go Wheeler, Nelson, Cameron, then Cameron can go again with the next one, and then
Okay.
back to Yeah. So,
Gotcha.
All right, we ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Shall I
Wheeler.
read the card?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, the person who starts can read the card.
Okay. Stormfront Pegasus, 1 and a white for a 2/1 Pegasus with flying. I've played this card in Canadian Highlander, and it has won more Canlander tournaments than Grafted Wargear.
That's probably not true, but this card is fine.
Yeah, it picks up Trusty Machete just fine.
Hold on, Cam. Your mic is
Oh.
too up. There you go.
Picks up Trusty Machete just fine, swings in.
All right, Cam, you're up.
Inferno Trap, 3 and a red for an instant trap. If you've been dealt damage by 2 or more creatures this turn, you may pay red rather than pay Inferno Trap's mana cost. Inferno Trap deals 4 damage to target creature. I feel you're still not winning this game.
There's only 2 playable traps, and they're both blue.
I wish they'd bring back traps. Also, Ravenous Trap is playable, and it's Black Nelson. I can't help but run on my sentences. I'm sorry.
Ravenous Trap. You're right.
Starfield Mystic, for 1 and a white, it's a 2/2 human cleric from M20. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less, and whenever an enchantment you control is put to the graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Starfield Mystic. This thing gets really big.
This card's super cute until it attacks you for 10 while you're dealing with all the combo shenanigans that Jacob was doing.
Yeah, I will die to this.
You're up, Cam.
Oh, is it me?
Yep.
Cerebral Vortex. 1 blue, red, instant. Target player draws 2 cards, then Cerebral Vortex deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards they've drawn this turn. Baby, I've wanted to make you work so bad, and I can't.
A little precursor to like the idea of this drawing and dealing damage going both ways, possibly killing your opponent shenanigans that they sorted out in Return to Innistrad as an enchantment.
Also, sorry, run-on sentence. PogChamp.
Yeah, the one on the left is pogging. Yeah, that's true.
that is a PogChamp right there.
Yeah.
My face when my opponent's letting me draw cards?
All right, we'll call this the last one. 'Cause
Okay, one more.
I can't imagine this is good.
Oh, Summoner's Egg. 4 mana, 0/4 artifact creature from 5th Dawn. It's a rare. It has imprint. When Summoner's Egg comes into play, you may exile a card from your hand face down. When Summoner's Egg is put into a graveyard from play, turn the imprinted face down card face up. If that card is a creature card, you may put this into play under your control. This is going to be a hell of a run-on sentence.
You can go for a bit on
Great.
this one.
So when I played KCI and F&Ms in 2004,
Yeah.
I had a 6 sideboard package of 4 Summoner's Egg, 4 Platinum Angel, and like as many Dark Steel
Didn't even mention
Colossus as I
Platinum
could
Angel.
get.
That's another sweet Platinum.
Yeah, as many Dark Steel Colossus as I could borrow from my friends that weren't playing Tooth and Nail.
Nice.
It was not great, but I definitely tilted out some players.
I just want to give another shout out to Panhar MommyCon because this is another one of those imprint cards you can double down on. Weirdly, maybe you can also double down on the graveyard tree. No, I don't think that's how that works. But yeah, this is a cool card. Get a sack outlet and cheat a big thing into play.
I can't believe I exiled my 5th land.
It doesn't even say exile a creature.
No,
No.
You can if it's a creature, put it into play. All right.
All right, 2 more?
No, you're done.
1 more?
You're okay. Fine. We'll give you one more. You addict.
Ravenous Baloth.
No.
You want to go first, Cam? Do you want to read it?
Sure.
Okay.
Underworld Coinsmith. Black, white. enchantment creature, human cleric, 2/2. From is this Born of the Gods or
Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Journey.
It's
Journey.
Great set symbols.
Constellation. Whenever Underworld Coinsmith or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. And 1 black, pay 1 life. Each opponent loses 1 life. This is really circuitous.
It was a 2/2 enchantment creature that had a constellation ability of some kind, so you put it in those draft decks.
This card is extremely cool and good. All right, 2 more. We're giving content. This is free.
It's not Grim Guardian.
I mean, if we want to go, come on, 2 more. Old bordered cards. Give us some old bordered cards.
I'll give you 1 more old border.
Can't believe he didn't
You
want to
get-
quit after Summoner's Egg.
No, I'll give you 1 more old border. Give me a minute.
I have a problem.
Yeah,
I
you
do
absolutely.
have-
I knew that this would go over fairly
Apparently,
well. Yeah.
Wheeler
Oh
loves
no, we have to
Scryfall
put out a
Roulette.
long podcast where we all just.
Oh, title flats.
Ooh.
Blue. 1 blue. An enchantment from Fallen Empires.
Veto.
James. No, you've used your veto. You have used your veto. Blue. All your creatures that are blocking any non-flying creatures gain first strike until end of turn. The attacking player may pay 1 generic for each attacking creature to prevent title flats from giving that creature's blockers first strike.
God.
This sucks so bad.
God, I love
it
old
sucks so bad.
Let me give you a card, but let's make sure that your card's not too powerful. How are we going to do that again? Oh, right. Let's just let your opponents turn your card off. That
Yeah.
seems good. Print it.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Otherwise, it would be unfair.
Yeah.
Terry didn't like this one, so we're going to give it another line of text that
Okay.
says that they don't have to worry about
Okay,
it.
so you've attacked me. And so I've set up these blocks. And now I'm paying blue. And so all my creatures gain first strike. Except the ones that are blocking your flyers, so it's not even every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the attacking player can just pay 1 for whatever ones they don't like.
It's not even per my creature that I gave first strike. It's per their attacking creature.
my
The
God.
1 turns off all of the creatures blocking that. So if I needed to block your 3/3 with 2 2/2s and give them both first strike for 2 blue mana, you only pay 1 generic to turn off the first strike for both of my 2/2.
God, these cards are so funny. This
Why?
is a hell of a good pick for the second to last
Yeah.
one we're doing, James. 1 more old border. Come on, baby. Can we get an old bordered one?
I'll veto this one.
All right, it's vetoed. Hold on.
Yes.
Clicking random.
You should be able to draw cards and pump for that much mana.
Here you go.
Scalding Tongs. 2 mana artifact, I believe a rare from Tempest. During your upkeep, if you have 3 or fewer cards in your hand, Scalding Tongs deals 1 damage to target opponent.
Reverse rack.
I've tried to make this card playable in Canlander.
Did you put it in that weird all discard cards?
In the
Black
I
deck?
played this in like rack, 8 rack dot
Right.
deck.
Yeah, I remember playing against you in a casual game
Yeah.
of 8 rack.
Yeah.
That had a ways to go.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I brought that deck to PAX West, like when Kaldheim was announced. Not Kaldheim, Kaladesh was announced.
Okay.
And I remember playing against people with this deck and actually like killing people. I'm like, oh my god, it's real. It's real. Then I brought it to a weekly Canlander and just got smooshed. Just
right.
not even close. And it's
This-
probably because I included cards like this.
Right.
The artwork in this, for this card, you know the artist's trick where when you draw a face, you are supposed to like, in Photoshop, you take it and you reverse it, and that'll show you where the flaws are in it. This looks like every face I've drawn when I reverse it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Randy.
I mean,
I mean, it's clearly supposed to be like some kind of weird golem, right?
I think
Yeah.
it's also like they're trying to communicate the heat,
Yeah.
like the part of the sort of wavy lines is like the heat.
Randy Galagos is the artist for Oriok Salvagers. And
Mhm.
I gotta say, your improvement has been extremely impressive over the years, Randy. Come a long way.
Fair.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. One more? He's doing it too. This is
James
great.
was ready for
Ooh,
this.
Takano, Samurai General. 5 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human samurai, with Bushido 2. You don't know what Bushido is. When this blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Each other samurai you control gets +1/+1 for each point of Bushido it has.
Oh, so it just turns the Bushido into permanent.
Yep. And they still,
still have
they
Bushido.
still get Bushido.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doubles
Yeah.
up on the Bushido.
Yeah. An absolute slam dunk. Another piece of Matt Cavada art.
Yeah, beautiful Matt Cavada representation here.
Yeah, this is. Ooh. I never played Samurais in. It was bad. Like,
Yeah.
it was never a thing. But it was something that I thought I would like when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know? I think I got.
You probably could have played EDH Samurais, and that could have been fun.
Yeah, I got spike pilled, I think, too early. Like, I didn't get to fully
Our
embrace
store kind of did that to people.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That'll happen. You roll into Yellow Jacket Comics in the early 2000s. You're either going to roll back out real quick
Yeah.
or start enjoying, like, frantically getting a deck together at 4:30 p.m. because there's some new hotness.
Definitely went from, do you have any well-wishers, to, I'll sack my Chromox to playing Ironworks very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Damage on the sack, sacrifice Mog Fanatic, target you. Lifelink, Exalted Angel, gain life trigger.
You
on
forgot
the
your
stack.
lifelink trigger. You forgot your lifelink trigger.
Magna
Shake
Jet
my
you.
hand. Shake my hand.
So that's game.
That's game. No, I'm already shuffling up, dude. You're dead. Papers. Okay, well, James has pulled the card off the viewer, meaning that was our last card. Thanks, everybody, for listening and or watching. Big thanks to Nelson,
Thanks for having me, Wheeler. It was great to be here.
Cameron,
Thanks for having me here. It was great to be here.
James.
Thanks for having me here, Wheeler. It was great to be here. Also, really quickly, because I didn't let you know, the nickname episode of 1 is still coming up, and the website is open for suggestions, so head over there right now.
Submissions open.
LRR.cc/nicknames, or click the link in the description below.
Great.
And we'll be doing that nickname episode probably in a week or two. So get your suggestions in.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. It's great to be here, and thank you for being here. It was great having you. Of course, thank you for all the support over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. It's because of you that we do all this, and also to cardkingdom.com /LRR, sponsor of the show. Button, please get the button that says my deck's power level is yes.
Yeah, no commander.
commander.
My deck's power level is yes.
No, you need a commander to play.
True.
Thanks
the
everybody
word
for
commander's not a
watching and
button.
for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.